2 seconds, guys, 2 seconds. Hoppers, if you can hear me, mate, just let me know you're there, and I'll start the tutorial. Right, so what I'm going to do is, again, this is the Clio for Triple Crown Racing. We're going to be creating a livery for the admin team, for our upcoming Clio Cup series. So this is absolutely a bog standard. There's nothing on this at all. It's the factory paint, which is a perfect place to start. So the first thing I do is go to body, add layer, and then I will cover the entire car in your base color, because basically you can use the paint, which is fine, but it overcomplicates things a little bit. So our colors are basically white, a slightly very dark grey, and then the another color then of the admin's choosing. So I know Ivan's is like a very fluorescent green yellow. I'm going to use like a blue, and then whoever else can then, it's basically the same design, and you just tweak it so it looks exactly the same but also different and kind of stands out individually, if you get what I mean. So I've wrapped the entire car from one side first. If we go to the color here, color palette, but if you click the color picker at the top, you can then change these colors to match. So the first color, which is the white, is 0, 0, 0 in H, 0 in there, and 90 in this one. So it's a slightly off-white, slightly greyish sort of colour. Press OK on that, and then that will store that in your colour history there. Okay, your other one, your grey one, is exactly the same. It's 0, 0, but this one then goes down to 22, which then gives you the slightly black, sort of slight grey tint to it. So press OK on that, and also thing I like to do on this, when I go to preview, I like to change the background to white, just because it stands out better and it's easier to do. So right, for me now, personally, I'm going to be doing the blue. So with this, let's just duplicate that on the other side. Okay, but also you see that there's a gap there. All right, instead of adding another decal, if you go to edit, go to projection and limit depth, if you change that to 10, it fills the car. See how it just, so if you just make sure it overlaps by however, it just goes over half the car. Click finish on that. If I delete that again, so it deletes that side, and then I come around here, sorry, and then not that one, duplicate on the other side. It then fills the car and fills all the gaps nicely. See, great. It just saves layers and things like that. I know there are a couple of little imperfections there, but that's going to get covered anyway when we're further on the video, so that's fine. Finish that, add layer, and then I'm going to colour this in the grey. So I'll bring this over here, make this as big as you want really, because they said when you go there it doesn't go beyond that anyway. So, and then I'm going to position this where it is, basically where it goes. So I don't want to cover the entire wheel arch like this, because there's a separate design going along the bottom. So I'll move this back just so the wheel arch kind of breaks up the lines. Okay, put that on there, duplicate symmetrically or on reverse, and when I do this, then I will then pick, say for example, the blue I'm going to use. So for me it would probably be that one. I'm going to use a standard color just to make it nice and simple. Okay, but also when you do this, that will also be in your color history. So we'll keep working on the left hand side. Again, get this, because I want it to be a different color now, I can put this in the blue, spread that right out, but you do, and angle it, but again you don't want it overlapping there, you see, on the wheel arch like that, because, well, it just creates more work for you. So if you bring that down there, and then use the wheel arch to break up those two colours. Okay, flick that on the other side, but again, then change that. So you're kind of doing an asymmetrical sort of design. Again, working on the left, we can then get the triangle, change that into the blue, spin that around because that's the way it goes, make that all nice and long like this, and narrow. Oh, get it narrower, there we go. It doesn't matter how far back this goes, this can go like that if you want to. Again, colour that in the colour you want. And then see how it's sort of symmetrical but not at the same time. How do you skew it like that? Right, so good question, Ivan. So right, to skew it, when you get, tell you what, I need to put around this area here, I need to put this slightly skewed square, so I'll show you how to do that, okay? So on the controller, R1, if you hold that down, then that will move everything round and zoom in and everything else, okay? Get it all square, get your shape, press on this, and then you press, hang on, there we go. Right, if you press the L1 button and your left stick, if you point it up and down, it then skews. Your left stick basically skews it however you want to do it, see? So up and down, skews it like this, and left and right skews it like this, okay? So I'm going to make this small. Obviously the right stick makes it larger. And right, skew it like that. And then I can't remember how to make it bigger. There we go. Right, make that long like this. Because obviously when you can see as you make it bigger, the skew gets more exaggerated. So you just need to adjust that slightly. So say like that. Try and match then that line, that angle there, little angle here, so it sort of looks. Don't worry about it going over the triangle so far. Duplicate on the reverse, but again you want to alternate the colours front to rear. So for this one now, because I've got white at the back, I'm going to make this the colour you want. Okay? But you can then move that up to the top. You can put the triangles in later if you want. It's just the way I'm doing it at the moment. And you'll see then how it overlaps. Now, the way I'll tell you what, I'll put the rest of the blue in first, and then you'll see how it works, how I do it. Again, put the blue on. Oh, hang on. I think I've got it slightly angled a bit more like that, but we'll play around with the angles in a minute. Change the angle actually now. If you get that corner and the corner there matched up, you can just change the angle slightly. So again, symmetrically, but because it's again just match the colours up. Put that. Why is that a different colour? Is it that one? I didn't paint it. There we go. Just going to move these triangles up again now. Oh, what am I doing? So I've also got a black sort of outline on between the blue and the yellow here. So the way I do this is I duplicate this, change the colour to the black, and then I physically just offset it like this. And then when you move underneath the others, it then gives that triple sort of colour, the slightly separate design, so the black goes through, and you know what I mean, do. And then duplicate that on the other side, and then as we move this around here, you'll see that also should work. Where's it gone? I'm having one of them, I think. Where's that bloody thing? Oh, not duplicate, is it? I want to It's been up for 22 hours straight yesterday, guys. Is what it is. Duplicate symmetrically, and then there you go. See, it works on that side as well. I've got a little bit of a thing at the back there, but that's not such an issue because I can either put another layer on this or just move the level, move the order of the layers around. But all I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop that on there, colour that, duplicate the other side, and then just to make sure it's all works really. Also as well, body kit wise, if you go to other on the Clio, this works differently in different models. It works differently. So if you go to other, click on that, and then you can physically colour in the body kit. Stretch that right out, change the colour, and then it all matches then. For the Clio as well, the other thing also fills in that strip there. See where the black is and the line that goes all the way along? You can change that to a different colour by using that other option. But I haven't on this just because, well, it matches, doesn't it? It looks nice. See how it's a different colour there? So I will just change that to blue. Why are you doing that? You shouldn't be doing that. I coloured it before when I did yours, Ivan. I coloured it perfectly, and my mind's gone blank. So I don't know, I was just tired. That's all it is. Anyway, right, I'm going to leave it white for now because I basically can't be bothered to sort it out at the moment. I could use all the time. I forget to change it back onto the body and not onto other. And this is all you're doing really. You're just putting shapes in and putting the triangles in just to get it to work. So if I put that like that, just you can see then how the line just continues from where that triangle is. It's not, see, there's a little nick there, which I am a bit of a perfectionist sometimes with these things. I get that lined up, and then you can move this back, and then have it however you want. You can have a little kink in it if you want. You can have a little, and it's just a bit of free reign, really, isn't it? And then we're ignoring the roof for now because it's going to look messy. Again, on the other side, change that, and you can see how the livery started to come together now. I can't even remember what I did on Ivan. Sorry, mate. I've had one of them days. Where's it gone? There it is. It's always a bit. I've got Ivan's photo, a Clio, in front of me now, just for references, so just so I know what I did. My memory's shocking sometimes. And then, right. And all I've done then is gone round with this, made these nice and small like this, and then I've just put in, for example, a little flicks like this, make that nice and long, just to break up that straight line at the bottom. You see, it's not so square. Then it just gives that little bit of flair, maybe, if you can call it that. I don't know, but that's how. I mean, the cars aren't identical. When all I do is, if I was creating a livery for all the admin, I create one, and then I just change the colour of the blue to say the yellow or red or whatever you guys want to use. And then obviously change the sponsors to be whoever. So for example, hoppers, if this was your car, I go into the Discord here, and then I will find the big Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs decal, and then I just expand it like this. So then your channel then would be your main sponsor. See? Get the angle just right like this, and then whenever I do decals, it's never symmetrical. Or not thingy, and put it the other side, and then your main sponsor then is your vlog page. Okay? But then equally, if I was doing Ivan's, which as you've seen, I would then just change to the Black Wolf one. Again, put it in there, and the car looks completely different, but also looks the same, if you get what I mean. But let's finish the design first. We'll mess about with the sponsors and that later. Again, number placement. I've put the number down the bottom of the front doors on the left-hand side, but you put it in the windows. I mean, Clio Cups and touring cars all in the rear windows, don't they? So it's entirely up to you how you want to play with it. It's just play around and see what works. Right, so let's go to the front. The front looks a bit messy at the moment, but this is nice and easy to do. Again, get my blue colour. No, oh, for God's sake, I am naturally blonde. You can probably tell. It's got dark over the years and probably gone a bit grey actually now, but so all I do is I'm just going to fill this space here. And I'm going to just angle it just to give it a bit of extra. It's straight lines up and down. I think are a bit boring. You see, you just need to. Never mind you saying nothing. Cheers, hoppers. And then I'm just as you come to the front here, you can just eliminate. Oh, not duplicate. I'm getting annoyed with myself now, as you can tell. And then see, just move the black underneath the two colours, and it just gets rid of the little imperfections when you do the levels. I do need sleep. I really do need sleep, and I'm so glad I'm off today and I'm not in till 2 tomorrow, and it's just I'm going to bed after this. I'm going to go back to bed, I think. For the splitter now, with the others thing on this, it's a bit different because the other one will fill in the number plate. It'll also fill in this bar here at the bottom. See where I've got blue there on the side. So what I'm going to try and do is basically make it a slightly different colour. I might not stick with the colour that bar in the bumper, the wavy bar in the bumper, but if I do it, I'll show you how it works. So this bottom one here, another option you've got, I forgot to say. So you go to here, you've got an align by surface at the moment. So if you extend this, it'll just follow the contours of the car. That's fine. If you want to try and move this up, see how it's just going. Well, it's going to shit in it, really. Let's not lie. So if you change this to align to camera, it then goes up in uniform and keeps it all nice and straight, and you can get it really tight to that number plate. And so if you go align by camera now, you'll never get it to that with a live by camera. It just won't work. It'll, like you see, it'll basically have a fit. Change that to the black, but instead you've got the extra bits around the side there. Hit that black again. Now you see how I'm extending this. It's just doing it over the splitter and over, but it's not actually touching the body. The other thing with this as well with the others is that sometimes you get at the back there, see the back of the splitter there is all white, okay? You go add layer and then move that dot onto that area there. You can then colour the inside of the arch. The level of detail on this for these liveries is amazing. The functionality you've got on it. I've only found this out through trial and error. So that is now all nice and uniform. There's a couple of little imperfections there by the number plate. See? So go to the front again, and then just get a little square. Oh, go away. And then just move this down. So see the other bit, it's a bit. You should be able to colour the number plates separately. basically all I'm going to do is just make this really small and then just slot that in the corner there. And I know there's a bit there by the number plate still sticking out, but to be honest, on the game, you're not going to notice, and I can't be bothered filling it in. Number plate now. I'm just going to remove the Clio RS just with a solid colour. I'm not fussed the fact it's bled all over everything, because all I can do is just move that down there and it's gone. Simple. Go to the Discord then, get the Triple Crown logo, bring this down here, and then I'm basically going to put Triple Crown on your number plate. I'm going to widen it just so you can see. And then again, but round here, see, the crown bit is bleeding then over onto the body itself. So just to rectify that, just get your colour, get your square, colour it whatever you want, and then just reduce it, and then just go over the top like that, and it's gone, basically. So say, for example, I want that line there, where I've just put the white, I want that red. I just change the colour red, and then spread that out, and then that should, again, you're better off doing a line by camera on this, not by surface, because it doesn't like it, basically. Spread that right out like that. Add another layer this side, move it over here, just so you're covering that area. Again, a line by camera. Change the colour to red. If I am going too fast with this, and you please let me know and I'll slow down. And if I move this, just reduce that a little bit, and now symmetrical, lovely. And then when I zoom out, just that bar there at the bottom is red. See? You'll see how clean that looks as well. There's no bleed to the decals or anything. It just, for me, it just works. And you can have that whatever colour you want. If you want it red, you have it pink, have it, you know. You can't have, obviously, the special colours. It's only the colours in the palette in the thing. So, right. It's amazing, Hoppers. It really is amazing how you can go a bit nuts, and you know, it can look really good for not that a lot of work. I'm trying to simplify this as much as possible, because I imagine the amount of series we're going to put out, and they're all going to need to look the same. I'm going to have to create all these liveries. So this is why I'm doing this tutorial, really. So all I'm going to do with that, you know, work smart, not hard and all that. All I'm going to do is I'm going to extend that. All right, that goes across there, but that's not that much of an issue. Because at the end of the day, it's only by the number plate, isn't it? It doesn't have to be perfect there. And then all that does is it's extended the line. I'm glad, mate. I'm glad, because if this works and it helps you improve yours, it's worth doing. So all that's doing there is extending that line from the door all the way through the wheel, all the way down through the bumper. So it just doesn't cut off. You know, it's not like a sharp edge. It just flows a little bit better. Now for me, because like I said, I can be a bit of a perfectionist with these sort of things, I'm just going to get the black, and I'm just going to delete that bit there at the front, just so that you see, so the other two colours don't bleed through. Delete the colour out the front, and then that just looks, it just works for me. Right, that's the front sort of done. We can tweak it as we go along in a minute. Let's go round to the back then, okay? I always use these bits at the bottom because it gets the car completely square. Because if you have it slightly off like that, when you do duplicate on reverse and things like that, it doesn't translate properly, and you don't quite get a straight edge when you want a straight edge. So once you've done it a few times, you can just bang it out. I'm just going through a lot of detail just to just so you know what you're doing. So I could just extend the white and the blue to make it fit in the middle, but as you can see on these studs here in the bottom on the reverse sensors, they are still a bit, you've still got the base color there. So I'm putting one of these in for the same color as the black, and it just colors it in. It's just that attention to detail. Once you put that in there, you can duplicate that, to be honest. change the colour for that, bring that over here. But as you say, as I'm bringing this over here, it's also filling in. You see see the curve of the bottom there, where the number plate is. That's to the left. It's just colouring that curve as well. You put that top to bottom, it fills in all pretty much all the body. I mean, you can really go deep underneath there if you want to, but I'm not bothering doing that at the moment. We'll maybe have a look in a minute. So again, a line by camera keeps it all nice and straight and surface. See, it just curves it there at the top, and I don't really want to be doing that. So that should. So the align by camera is actually filled in under the window there in the spoiler. See, if you compare that to the left to the right, you've got a lot of orange bleed coming through there, whereas there there's just nothing there, is there? Again, duplicate symmetrically, colour it, and then that's basically the rear design done. You just stick your logos, stick your sponsor logos on everything else. There is a way you can colour that rear splitter. I've done it on Ivan's. Don't ask me how to do it now. Usually, if you go to other, it does it, but knowing my luck, it won't work now. You go to other, come down here. Yeah, it's not doing it. So again, rear bumper, may as well put the servo logo on the rear bumper because, you know, why not? Nice, and just slot it in there. I mean, the crown doesn't really. You can get rid of that just by. You know, the crown's a good idea, and it works well with the logo. But for the number plate, it's just not going to work. So sits nice in the number plate. Okay, right, roof now. Again, use the things on the bottom there, so you can see it's a little bit. It's sort of there, really. It's not that bad. But you've also you still got these bleed marks here from the paint. So best thing to do this is get the colour again. Get you just a square will do it. Make that quite thin because you don't want it to bleed anywhere else. And then as you move it over here, it just fills in the inside of that A-pillar. Now you want the A-pillar to be the same colour as the side of the car, really. So you can really like fill this up. As you go to the side like that, I can then make that one blue. And see how that line now on the inside of that A-pillar has just completely disappeared. It's the right colour and everything. So we're going to do the same there for the back. Again, it doesn't really matter to an extent it overflowing on this one because we're going to do extras anyway. So put that on there. It looks a bit of a mess at the moment, but trust me, it works. So roof wise, okay, so I need to just tidy it up really. I'm going to do it with the blue so it's easier. So for this, all I'll do then is extend this just so it fills the gap really. It's nothing major. You don't have to be too precise because you can just stick another layer on the top. Colour that to match. To get the black line then, again, just get your square, colour it in the black. And then make that as thick as you want. Put that over there. Do it the other side. Again, add layer. Do that. And then when you make this larger like this, front to back, it then deletes the imperfections, see? And then the lines are nice and clean. Now make that as wide or as thin as you want, you know what I mean? I think on Ivan's I made the top really slim, but it doesn't really matter. It can be as wide or as thin as you want. I mean, you can do it this way if you want, and then what I've done on the touring cars, go to the roof, is basically put servo logo. Why is it done that? Oh, because it's on other. Oh, I'm being a dick. Go to the roof. Yeah, his favourites, Discord, they are. And then what I've done is I've done this basically. I've put that on the roof, and I've done that on the touring cars, just so then it just, you got the full logo on the roof. You know, but it just depends. As long as it looks the same on the side, you can go nuts with the roof. Really, do whatever you want. I mean, with Ivan's, I've put all sorts of. Tell you what, I'm going to run with this. I'm going to line that up with that. See, for me, I've seen imperfections in the line there, and that bugs me. That bugs me no end. But you know, it's gonna annoy me. I'm gonna fix it. No, preset that one. Get the colour. Again, if I go align by camera, shrink this right down. I don't want that. I don't know why that's doing that. Okay, so it's not gonna work. Forget that then. You can't see anyway. You can't see from this point of view the imperfections. I just know it's there. Again, roof. Get the triangle as normal, and then make that. You can put your little flicks in it then by narrowing that down, swinging that around. Yeah, I know it's hardly noticeable. It's just me being a perfectionist, right? And then if you just extend the triangle like this, you can then put it in like this. But I said once you get the angle right, what you're doing is you're extending that. You're putting the blue triangle in, but you're also putting that kick on the black in as well. If you see what I mean. And I said it just breaks up those perfectly straight lines. And then if you want, you can duplicate that and then move this back over here, make that a bit smaller because it's going to be too long. I mean, like I said, each car is going to be the same but different anyway, if that makes sense. Because, well, yeah, you gotta have it a bit unique, haven't you? Is it that one? No, it's not that one. It must be that one. It's weird that it's such a simple way to do it, but it is so effective, and it's like it just, like I say, it just breaks it up, and it's just, you know, and the space there on the roof then to put whatever you want really. So bonnet wise, so the bonnet again, body 2, it's completely different way it behaves. It's totally different. So the base color black, just fill it because it matches up with the black and everything else then. Again, I try and do it from the top because it works easier then. Put this in, and then all I'm going to do then, you can make that as big as you want, it doesn't really matter, because as I said, it's not going to bleed into the body. If I zoom out, I'm going to try and match then that bottom line there, see, with the bumper. I'm going to try and match that up with that line there at the top, just so it flows. So it's about that. That's not far off. Duplicate, change your colour, and then that it just works. It just, you know, it's and then again, stick the triangles in. Now, we were sticking blue ones in last time. I'm going to put black ones in this time. So then the points kick towards the outside of the car. So what I'll do first, so I can still see the bloody thing, I'm going to put these lines in like this. And possibly go right up like that. Make that black. Duplicate the other side. It's already kind of looking a bit like a crown, actually, a bit like the logo. So this is, you know, it kind of works like this. It's kind of like a subtle hint towards the logo itself. But see how the lines just sort of follow all the way up the bonnet, and they match the roof. And then that's kind of it, really. You just sort of bang the logos on it, and then you're good to go. I mean, for me, obviously, the Seven Grace one would be my main one, because that's my mum's company. I'll share these in a minute, actually. I've actually added just the 3CR logo on its own. and they've also added my mum's new web address as a separate thing. So instead of having the fancy the flowing thing that you can't really read it, I can just stick the web address on the side there, and it just looks. I think it just looks a little bit cleaner. It just let because you can do. I could do that, which is the web address, which is fine. But I could also do the normal logo, which works, which is still what we've all been using. But it as a large logo, that's fine. But I think when it gets smaller, like I put on the side there with Ivan up the top of here, you can't really read it that well. But the logo is the logo, I suppose. Put that on the side there. Put that on the other side. Right, so the number board is another thing I've just done as well. So go to this. I can grab this one. Put this on the side here because that's where I've stuck Ivan, so I'm going to stick with the theme at the moment. I've put it on the door so it doesn't overlap. See where the line is between the door and the wing. I've just put it on the door there. Hang on, let's duplicate on the other side. Get my number, put that in there. Now if I make this a little bit smaller, for some reason it doesn't quite central out, which is probably the way I've done it actually. I can then, the favourites, Discord, no, not that one, why am I being a dick? It's in my items, I need to add this to that because I'm guaranteed I'm going to lose it. Then I can then colour that, say, in the red, if we want to do whatever colour you want. I said I'll share these. And then we can just stop that there at the top. And then it's kind of like, the server thing, if you want the server tag on the number board. And it's just dead simple to do. I'll create a proper one. But at the moment, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to delete the number. I'm going to make the number the same size as the box. Because, well, that looks better. For this one, anyway. Come on. And then it's just a case of filling it in, really. Just putting the sponsors, putting the decals on it, put the sponsors on it. So, for me, then, I quite like if you put the wolf on the back, which is what I have been doing. I need to do it the right hand side first. So as you can see there, but what I did was I deleted the black wolf and basically separated everything. So there, I need to make that in black as well and invert it. But I've just basically pulled the wolf off, pulled it out of the actual logo. If we go over here, make that the white, put this over here like this, you can shove that on the back there. Duplicate symmetrically, not opposite side, because the nose will be facing the wrong way. And then make that blue. And then that kind of matches both sides, see? I think I might make it a bit bigger, just so it's... Delete that. Making it a bit bigger, so then it's just not... The lines of the actual bottom of the logo go into the wheel arch. So again, duplicate symmetrically, put the blue on. Now the only thing for me now I've noticed, if I go to the rear again, I've got it bleeding then onto the boot, which I'm just making it that bit cleaner. Reduce that, and then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to extend this and make this a little bit bigger, just so the line of the lights hides it basically. And you see the bleed from the wolf design's gone, but you've got the angle of the triangle then going onto the top of the lights, and I just think it just looks a little bit crisper. And I said just carry on putting the logos in. Then you can put, is it in that one? Yeah, put the Discord one there. I can chuck that up there if I wanted to. In the Discord logos is not necessarily a major thing. It's just fills a gap. See, it doesn't quite work on there, so you're better off putting it. There are other ones you can get hold of, but that's just, you know, I can't be bothered. It works. You can then, for example, go to the other and then get the Deadfast Cars web address, make that white, bring that down here. So you can't see it at all, but when you zoom in and bring it down here, it just goes onto the body kit. It just goes onto the side skirts. So I can put that there, duplicate to the side, again, change the colour, and then it's symmetrical. It just, for me personally, I do quite like the asymmetrical look, but the blue at the front looks better. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it works fine. I must remember to take it back off other. And what I'm going to do is get this new 3CR tag here. Where's it gone? For some reason I put the new ones right at the bottom. Make that again the white we created before, and then I'm just going to put this like I did with the old livery, and I just put the tag on the bumper. Just so you know, it's just like I said, it's like a sponsor thing, isn't it? But it's not at the same time. And you can just go nuts, really. Just put whatever you want. I need to find no, not that one. That's what I was after. Make that the blue. Bring that up here. And then I'll put that there, following the nose, I think. Because you at the end of the day, we want people to see, go to the Husky Instagram page. You want to make it quite big, so if we do stream it, it stands out. That it kind of works. It kind of doesn't, but we'll just see how it goes. And I'm just putting the decals in now, just following the lines of the shapes I've put in. So them wings look a bit bare to me, or certainly above the numbers it looks a bit bare. So what can I put in? You can put whatever you want. I'm putting the driver tag if you want, and put that in like this, and then you just, it just fills the gap a little bit. Obviously sometimes less is more. But I think I put yours there. I think Ivan, to be honest, I think you put it around there. And see, it just fills the gap, and see how it's not that difficult to do, really, and you can make great decent effects from not a lot. So yeah, hopefully this has helped. I'm just going to stick. It doesn't have to be square on either. You can put it just at the back, and you can just slap these on either side. I could leave that black, but it just work. White and the blue just work, I think. See how it looks? It looks quite clean, but also it's relatively simple to do. Let me just find what I've put on everything else. There's a bit of blank space on the one I did for you, Ivan, but nothing major. You know what I mean? If you put them both on track next to each other, they're gonna look the same, aren't they? Again, for me, then I'm going to put that down there because why not? Where's it gone? But this is where another thing, I'm going to get a bit clever on the bonnet. So we want a Triple Crown Clio Cup logo, Okay, so all I'm going to do here is get this on the bonnet, lift that up so the crown's disappeared, get another square, make that black, make that the same colour as the grey black, delete the racing team, and then I've got somewhere, when I find it, has it got, there it is, nice little Clio Cup logo, so we can put that there in the centre. So the BTCC cars have the BTCC logo on the top of the bonnet there, so I'm kind of following the same theme really, of just, you know, putting it on the top, putting the series name at the top of the bonnet, because it just works. Now I'm going to move that up slightly just so it's in the middle. That's it. It just comes together just nicely. Where's that other one gone? Oh, I've lost it. Where's the co-ord one gone? There it is. Trouble is, when I add decals, everything moves. But also for me, because, well, I now work for them, I'm going to be sticking Natex logos on. Let's make that white so you see it. Oh, you know what, now when medical's done, I really can't wait to get behind the wheel of these things again. And I can put it there on the side skirts, or I could, for example, put something in. I'll need to put the forklift one in then anyway, so I can do that. I can put that there. Oh, move. And I can put that there just to fill the gap. Make that blue. And then it's kind of good to go, really. So hopefully it's helped. Hopefully, you know, it's not so a thing where you look at a livery and think, how the hell have you done that? It's just one of those things of just exploring and just give it a go and see what you can do. I've not done the rear wing, which I'll do in a second actually, which is actually just something the rear wing I can show you as well, and also the windscreen banner. So windscreen banner, I just, like I said, the font I've used from this, if you remember Fatboy Slim with the with his covers, well, this is the same text he used, so I've basically robbed it to create the windscreen banner. Right, rear wing. Rear wing's an interesting one. Okay, so you can do many things with this. You've got three options when you do this. You've got top, left, and right. But when you use the left and right, it does bleed into the top as well. So, say I'm going to put Union Jacks just on the wingtips here. Okay, so on the right, you can put whatever you want. You can put whatever flag you want. You know, it just works for me. I could use that one. Let's go close. Let's do it from the left side first. So make that sort of so it fits like this. Not that that really works, but you get the idea. Duplicate symmetrically. Okay, so if you look on the top now, see how it's bled into the top? Don't worry, hoppers of Nod, I forgot about your blog logos. I'll just extend that to there and then get another square. I mean, what I do when I do this is I basically align my camera, but I leave it white so I can get it really close up to the edge there. And then I colour it, because move it further, because if you go too far like that and you get it all on the edge there, it then starts going to the side, which then it just doesn't work. So what I try and do, not like you can see it when you look back anyway, I just try and get as close as I can to the edge without it bleeding. So it's not perfect, that one, but you're not going to see that when you're looking at the car. If you use the outside camera from the front and you look back, you're not really going to see that. Let's just see if I can go line by surface. No, it doesn't make a difference. So it's just an awkward rear wing, really. So this is where it gets a little bit of a clever bit gets in. So you go to add, all right. You've got there. I mean, you've got top if you put it on the top, for argument's sake. But then if you rotate this round here and you actually look where that arrow is, and put it on the underneath of the spoiler here, okay? And make sure that obviously pressing R1 to move the dot around. You put that on the bottom side of the wing there. You can then put whatever you want. So I've been putting people's usernames here. Okay, so I'm putting this in between. I'm leaving this to align by surface because it just works better if you extend that so it looks like, it looks a bit odd, to be honest. It's sort of central. I think it goes that way a little bit. So from this side, it doesn't look, you just can't see anything. If you zoom out from the back of the car, you just see username at the bottom of the wing. If you come up to the top, it's not there. So see, you can put extra decals on there just to, I mean, I've put Hopper's logo on I think on the McLaren. I think I put the Hopper's Motorsport blogs sort of on the bottom there. So on the, yeah, you see, so it just kind of works. Top again, I'm just going to stick the servo logo on it, just because, you know, why not? It's a bit of an awkward one there, because when it attaches to the actual thing, if you fill it, you can't really read it, so I try and get it so it's just between the attachment points. But because the crown is bleeding up the top, I'm just gonna blank it out, and then that then shouldn't translate to the bottom. See? Right, I need to stick your logos on the hoppers so I can box it off, really. I mean, it depends on which way you want to put it, really. I mean, I could, for example, put it like this, make that bigger, and get it to follow the line of the bonnet, edge of the bonnet, if you want, like this. Because then you can see, when you come along like, you kind of see it on the side, make that a bit smaller. So you kind of see it from the side of the car and from the top. But it curves round, so I don't like that too much. To align with camera, it just makes it worse, to be honest. Sometimes it straightens it out. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to put this here and just make it bigger, like that. It's along the edge, sort of like the crease of the bonnet, really. But from the side, or from the stream, it sort of shows it from all angles anyway. So I'll duplicate that, not symmetrically, because it reads backwards. Opposite side. See how it's not central? When you do it quickly, it's what happens. Is that? No, that's not quite. And then I'm just going to go Windows, on the rear. I wonder where it is. I think it's that bright orange one there, bright yellow one there standing out. I'm going to slap that there, just so it stands out. To be fair, mate, it's in a colour in such a way that it stands out anyway, doesn't it? It's not exactly it catches your eye. It doesn't blend into anything, which is a good idea. And then all I'm going to do then is because I've separated as well the Seven Grace logo. See, so I can get the Grace bit, put it this side in the white. And then get the 7 bit, put it this side like that, make sure it's all same size, and make that blue, and then you've still got the same logo there, but it just matches the colour, it matches the theme of the car. I can't remember how to do the rear. Is it just simple? No, it's not. So Ivan, I've coloured the rear diffuser on yours. All that is all the yellowy, greeny light matches the Hubber's logo actually, but I can't remember for the life of me how to do it because most of the time you go to other on the other cars and it just fills it. It just works. But I don't know why it's not doing it. Anyway, that's a problem for a different day. I'm not doing messing about with that now. So that's kind of it, really. That's kind of how I do it. I mean, yeah, this one's taking a little bit more time. What I'm going to try and do is put the white on the back and the triangle as one decal, so that you can basically download it, pull it, just slap the one on each side, line it up, and then it just makes it that bit quicker. So what I would do is you colour it. Say for example, you colour that all blue. The black would all be one decal, so you just the triangles on the sharp points would all be as one thing. So you just stick that on the side, then make the white the same. So you just stick that on the side, make sure all the lines are lined up, and then that's one side of the car done. And if you duplicate it, change the colour, then that's the car. That's 90% delivery done straight away. And you just need then just to tidy it up. But that's kind of it, really. So hopefully you found it helpful and picked up a few bits. And yeah, just if you need anything else explained or showing, just let me know. So right, I'm going to stop this now. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully it's helped. Hopefully, just let us know if you need any more help, and I'll see what I can do.